It is Expresso here on SABC3. Now, every month, Expresso and Dulux celebrates a House of the Month. And, you know, we look at things like architectural style as well as use of colour.
Yeah, and this month, House of the Month is the Dulux, a house located between Stellenbosch and Franschhoek, built in 1821. A lot of history. And in renovating the house, the owners have still maintained that elegance, that old school style. And I think it's fair that we show it to you. You and our friends from Dulux did go and visit this house and take a look at what makes it so special.
Let's take a look.
In South Africa, we are very fortunate to have many diverse cultural influences. And when it comes to architectural styles in the Western Cape, one of the most prominent has to be that of the Cape Dutch. And this month's Dulux House of the Month is nestled within the beautiful heart of the winelands.
Our House of the Month is called the Dulux. It's located near Stellenbosch and enjoys a rich history. Today, it's owned by Simon Olding, and it was the view over the winelands that first caught his imagination.
Now, it goes without saying that this house has got a very rich history.
Yeah, the house as you can see it now was built in 1821. The back of it's a lot older. And yeah, it was built by the De Villiers family who lived in this whole valley. And then Cecil John Rhodes bought up the whole valley bit by bit. And this house looks the way it does because it was renovated by his company, so that's why it looks slightly different to most other Cape houses.
Well, I think one of the most noticeable differences is the fact that there's no gable on this house.
It is a kind of gable. It's called in Afrikaans a wolfneusgevel. There's an old drawing where the house originally had a much frillier gable, sort of like the wine cellar over in the back. But the theory is that by the time Rhodes bought the farm, it was in such a bad state that they pulled it down rather than restore it. And at that time, sort of this English cottage look was very fashionable anyway, so that's why it looks the way it does.
Simon bought the house about 3 years ago, and most of this time was spent lovingly renovating the house. He found the balance between authentic old-world charm and modern comfort.
Simon, I can see that you take great care of the house inside. It is immaculate, but I'm sure it wasn't like this when you moved in.
No, when we moved in, the house had been sort of owned by a corporation for about 100 years. So the front facade you can see here, those windows are original, but every other window in the house was a sliding aluminium one. And most of the doors had been removed. There were sort of a built-in kitchen with granite everywhere and modern bathrooms. So apart from outside, it looked like a modern house inside. So we had to return it to what it was, we thought.
To stay true to the house's history, finer details like antique door handles were especially sourced. Dulux colour specialist Sonica Buckstech is impressed by the end result.
Sonica, when I walked into the house, I noted that most of the walls has got this muted green color, which makes me wonder, when you do own a Cape Dutch house like this, which has been declared a heritage site or a monument, do you need to take the color of the paint in consideration?
Yes, it's very important that you do that because it's a heritage site. So the colors that you use on the inside of your home needs to honor the cultural heritage of that building. According to research or statistics found from Alexander Emerton, who was a colourman from London, he basically categorized two colour groups, common colours and then your more expensive colours. Now this duck egg or greenish type of colour is typical of that period and is classified as one of the common colours used throughout the homes of that period.
Simon, I must compliment you on the way that you've decorated the space inside, because stepping into the house, it feels like I'm transported back to the 1800s, but a very stylish 1800s.
We tried to stick with furniture that would be authentic to the house. So a lot of it is early Victorian furniture, which was more or less when the house was built. There are modern things like the kitchen island, but I try to avoid very modern furniture in an old house because it just jars. I didn't want that look at all.
And the other thing I've noted is this beautiful wooden ceilings that has been painted white. Was that a trend back then as well? And in the same sentence, what are the trends for painting ceilings nowadays?
Ceilings are painted white just because it enlarges the space, it reflects a lot more light. I think old houses like these could tend to be quite dark if you kept the ceilings darker. But throughout that period, it was acceptable to either have white ceilings or wooden ceilings.
And what about the exterior paint? I'm sure, just like like the inside, you need to take the color in consideration.
Definitely. I think with Cape Dutch homes, using other brighter colors is not in the question for me. To honor this style, it's ideal to keep these type of homes white because they're meant to stand out from the exterior surroundings. I think when it comes to more modern homes, the trend is nowadays to more blend your home in with the environment, but to respect the cultural heritage of this architectural style, it's best to just leave it white or cream color.
Grand dames like this house and modern dwellings can all do with the care of loving owners. If you are renovating, consider Dulux WeatherGuard for a finish that will last for years and years to come. Adding color to your morning with Expresso and Dulux.